Welcome back, everybody. Nassau Coliseum. Today's telecast on Fox Sports Florida is presented by the Florida Lottery. They are anticipating a snowstorm coming up here on the island. Perhaps a few decided to stay home for this one, this 3 o'clock start. And our goaltenders, BB&T, takes us inside the nets. What's that helmet Tim Thomas has today?
Tim Thomas is not going to be on the GQ of Hockey magazine. He's got a red blocker, a black helmet, a white catching mitt, but just stop the puck. However, Panthers need a good goaltending performance. Down at the other end, the rookie, Anders Nilsson, 23 years old, 7 games this year, only his 12th NHL game in his career. Interesting, in 2010 at the World Championships, he's from Sweden. He backed up Jacob Markstrom in that tournament. 3rd round pick in 2009, Nilsson. And here we go, Mike Weaver, as we said, returning to the Panther lineup, paired up with Kulikov. The Bukestad line begins for the Panthers. And Nilsson has some trouble right off the get-go, but able to cover up. And for Peter Horchak and the Panthers, I mean, throw the X's and O's out the window. Just compete tonight. Had 3 or 4 players show up last night. He needs a whole team to show up, or yesterday. Needs a whole team to show up today against the Islanders. Jack Capuano, not very good on home ice, the Islanders. 1 win in their last 8 games, 4 in their last 20 here at the Nassau Coliseum.
Kulikov shoots, deflected. Nilsson, big guy, 6'6", 225. You can see that. Takes up a lot of space in that goal. Bergenheim with a good hit. Kulikov throws one wide. Good opening shift and a start here for the Panthers, but now taken by Straight.
He said he backed up Markstrom where? The World Juniors?
Yeah, in 2010.
How about the size of the net there? Markstrom 6'6". Nilsson 6'5". Wow, those are some big Swedes.
Yeah, practice for those guys trying to score goals. Yikes. And here's Nilsson making a save up high intentionally. Shore now on the ice. Gives off Shaw over to Fleischman. Little line change there. Fleischman on the wing with Shore and Upshaw today. Hickey plays it back at his own line. The Islanders played yesterday as well. It was ugly here at home. A 6-1 loss to the New Jersey Devils. Upshaw knocks it away from Vanek and then shovels it down low. Isles hit the road after this game, so in all likelihood, it's Thomas Vanek's last home game as an Islander, and that part of his career didn't last very long. They traded him for Matt Molson earlier this season. Here's Vanek. Up ahead to center, broken up again, and Fleischman puts it over the line. Winchester trying to track it down. Vishnowsky able to clear. Strome moving in and shooting wide of Thomas's net.
Vanek hasn't been good lately for the Islanders. No goals in his last 8 games. Only 1 point for Vanek on the verge of the trade deadline coming up.
Reportedly, they offered him good money, said no, so the 30-year-old likely to be moved before Wednesday's deadline. We'll take you through some of the trade rumors and thoughts at our intermission. We'll also hear from Panthers assistant coach John Madden coming up. Little more than 2 minutes gone by. Panthers have the only 2 shots on goal. DeHaan to center, up ahead for Karkner. Islanders without Travis Hamonic this afternoon. He was suspended. He tried to start a fight in the final 5 minutes of the game against the Devils yesterday. And in the rule book, that's a suspension. Also cost Coach Jack Capuano 10 G's.
We got to fight right off the bat.
Barch and Bolton, 2 heavyweights.
Led in perfectly led into the penalty minute theme you were building up there.
I saw Barchi out there. I figured maybe. No, I'm just kidding. Pure luck.
Barch and Bolton march into the lineup tonight. Bolton's a tough guy on the other side, and I like this. Panthers have been struggling to start games. There hasn't been energy to start games. Chris Barch trying to provide some energy at a big there. Threw the sledgehammer right against Bolton.
Oh, Barch trying to get that right free a couple of times. This is a long one. 2 guys that have been at this for a long time in the league. There's another right by Barch. Bolton's trying to hang on now and get his right hand free.
That's a good long fight between those 2 players. And yes, Panthers slow to start games. Bolton 636 games. He's got over 1,300 penalty minutes in his career. Chris Barch, no stranger to the penalty box. But for the Panthers, slow starts have been an issue. So this is one way to get your team involved early. Barch and lays a shoulder into Bolton. Not much has to be said, just some eye contact, and down go the mittens, and away we go. I think Barch landed the best punch with that big right. So good for Chris Barch and good for the Panthers. Some emotion, some passion to start this game. It'll take you 5 minutes to recover from that fight, and they're still chirping in the penalty box.
Barch waving his hand. I'll leave you alone. What a great personality Chris Barch is, huh?
Yep.
Like having him around.
Yes, and I like having him on the ice. And the Panthers, I mean, slow starts is an issue. Get involved early, do something. The old adage, a lot of it is hit or be hit. And right there, I guess, fight or drop your gloves. And hopefully this team can follow suit the rest of the way. But the Panthers in general just need better starts. They've been playing too much catch-up hockey, falling behind early. And here we go.
And now Huberdeau is straight out at center ice. Not sure what happened there, and everybody joins in. Remember, Huberdeau a few weeks ago had a fight, his first of his career, and Huberdeau's hot.
Maybe the coffee made it to the dressing room this afternoon. Yesterday,
well, good.
In Columbus, they seem to be lacking some caffeine, but
great. I hate to sound like a broken record, but
got up early.
Yes. I like. Let them know you're there.
You're right. There's got to be some pride in the jersey and the logo, even though you're down. I mean, you got to play for that jersey on the front. You want to be a Panther long term, you got to show that you want to belong here. Important stretch. You're always being evaluated as a player. Jimmy Hayes now talking to Carter. Can't take liberties with Huberdeau, so a lot of penalty minutes. You mentioned Hamonic yesterday for all those penalties. Hamonic had 32 minutes and penalties in the third period. That tied an Islander record for most penalty minutes in a period. So the Islanders right now racking up the penalty minutes last couple periods.
Oh, they're frustrated too, and here it is.
Straight grabs Huberdeau.
Hayes in there. Matthias, nice job Matthias trying to grab straight away from Huberdeau.
And team toughness, especially Huberdeau. Someone goes after him. You got to have that pack mentality as a group and stick up for each other. Penalty box and some players being separated from the herd for a few minutes as they're going to have to sit over in the penalty box. Jack Capuano right on the edge of the bench. He wants an explanation to see what's going on.
And we'll see what happens when they sort it out. There's Capuano. Amazingly, he is now second all-time in the Islanders coaching list. Al Arbour, who's way ahead of everybody. But it's Arbour, Capuano, and then Mike Milbury is the top three. Al Arbour is here forever.
Does he come back next year, Capuano? You got to figure the evaluation for him will be tough to come back.
I like him as a coach, but I mean, I don't think what's going on here is really his fault. But
the Islanders made the playoffs last year, but a big drop this year.
Let's see how it all started with straight out at center ice.
Right in the top, and the Huberdeau is up there at the middle of your screen, and the high stick, you see the high stick by Straight. Huberdeau didn't like it. That could have been a high sticking penalty for sure.
Should have been.
Against Straight. Huberdeau didn't like it, and Huberdeau had that fight back home a couple breaks ago.
Well, they're going to get the extra penalty, the Islanders, because Straight and Kartner are both in the box. So Peter Horacek wondering what's going on, but we got the referees chatting with Gotch and Opozo. There they are.
I like this for the Panthers, though, after sluggish starts, and a little wry smile by Horacek. But tonight, the start's been anything but sluggish.
This all happened 8 seconds after the Barch-Bolton fight.
Still nothing up on the scoreboard. Still sorting things out.
Well, there's 5 Panthers on the ice, and I believe there's going to be 4 Islanders. Capuano's not happy, so it'll be a Panther power play.
Gord Dwyer giving the explanation to Capuano, and Capuano. Huberdeau gets 2 minutes for tripping.
Oh, wow.
2 minutes for roughing.
Tripping.
2 minutes for tripping. 2 minutes roughing for Sean Matthias.
Oh, an extra Panther goes in. Okay. So we're going to be even strength then.
Straight gets 2 for high sticking and 2 for roughing, and Carter.
Yes, so we're even strength with the extra penalty there to Matthias. I'm not sure who Huberdeau tripped. In any event, things even out.
What was it? Maybe when Straight fell down, that was the trip that caused the high stick, but 5-on-5 hockey, away we go.
Boys shoots in. Dylan Olsen trying to get down low. DeHaan gave him a good hit. Olsen finds Boys turning. Comes up to the point. Bergenheim settles it down. Throws it in front. Too far for Boys. And now DeHaan back behind his own net. The young Islander defenseman, 22-year-old rookie Calvin DeHaan. Nice speed, Nielsen. And Anders Lee back again. Franz Nielsen over the line. Sweeps wide with a shot high. his first game back after missing time with a broken hand, Franz Nielsen.
And I think for the Panthers, maybe best 5-on-5 hockey. They'd like to play the whole game 5-on-5 hockey with the way their special teams have been struggling.
Thomas Hickey threw it in front, blocked away by the pads of Thomas. Here comes Fleischman. Speeding out to center. Vishnofsky is back. Fleischman has it knocked away by Vishnofsky. Goes after him. Played around for Nelson. Little poke there by Campbell, but the puck comes out to center. Bodies bang again. Feisty game early on here in New York this afternoon. 4 minutes in. Tipped out to center by Nelson. No score in the game, but a boatload of penalties. Shore escaped the hit from Clutterbuck, but couldn't maintain possession.
Clutterbuck, one of those players that will throw the body. 199 hits on the season.
Well, this should be a game now with guys like Mathias and Hayes. I mean, they're big bodies. This should be salivating in this one.
Fits right into that style, yes. And got those big bodies like Hayes and Mathias and Bukestad and all those players. Play big, play physical, be intimidating.
Winchester gathers it in at the goal line. Opozo watches him, finds Hayes. Hayes battles his way and maintains puck possession. Now taken away. Ryan Strome up ahead for Grabner. Opozo has it go off his skates. Up ahead off the stick of Bergenheim, though. And Thomas Hickey resets in his own zone.
And this is the game. The Islanders give up the most goals per game in the NHL. If you're strong defensively, you're going to get your offensive chances. So I think for the Panthers, just focus on your own end and be good, and good structure, and get the chances.
And offside, the call there is Bukestad got slowed down out at center ice.
Thomas Fleischman down the wing. Got to make sure here. You're going to see him sprint, and he's going to try and make a move at the blue line. I'd like him here. Just chip that puck and get it deep. There you see the chip and the turnover, but he can continue the roll. But I think he's got the speed, and then just get after it. And then there you got to be physical. You have to play the body as he kind of makes a turn, but you get that puck deep. Good play, but make sure you finish off your check if you're Fleischman.
Dylan Olsen paired up with Goodbranson on defense. Upshaw settles it down, gets over the line. Scotty Upshaw holding, gives to Shore, fires up high. Here's Fleischman with a chance. He fires blocker save by Nilsson. Fleischman point blank off Nilsson's stick. Couple of chances there for Thomas Fleischman. He's got it one more time. Down the boards, Upshaw spins it around again for Drew Shore. Vishnofsky with Shore. Shore gets it to the line. Goodbranson taps it to the face-off circle, but Hickey and Vishnofsky reset. Good shift by that line of Shore, Upshaw, and Fleischman.
Fleischman had a good shot right in the middle of the hash marks. Kind of whipped on it. Went off the end of his stick. Didn't get all of it.
Mathias came out of the penalty box. Those minors are done. Still two apiece still in the box. Colton and Straight and Barch and Huberdeau. And the Islanders called for an icing here with 13:36 to go in the opening period.
And a young goaltender, Nilsson in the net. Everything has to go towards the net. The Islanders gave up 6 goals last game. Nilsson came in relief. Nabokov got pulled after giving up 5 goals. Nilsson gets the start tonight, but only 12 NHL games for Nilsson, 23 years old. You got to get as many pucks towards him as possible.
They're hoping eventually, or now anyway, he could be the guy.
They got big problems in net here. They got to find a person. They've gone through a litany of goaltenders.
Brock Nelson, after a puck deep in the Panther zone, gets there, poked up the boards by Campbell. Nelson stays with it. And look out, Clutterbuck open in front. The drop pass, Vanek scores. Thomas Vanek, his 20th of the year. The subject of the trade rumors gives the Islanders the lead.
Number 20 for Vanek. His first goal in 9 games. Allowed to keep that puck in. Campbell, the defenseman, way out high. Everyone gets caught leaving the zone. You got to make sure that puck's out of the zone before you leave the zone. The Islanders allowed to keep that puck in. Clutterbuck, a little drop pass to Thomas Vanek. He puts it upstairs against Tim Thomas, and the Islanders get the first goal. But there's a play. You have to make sure that puck gets out before you leave the zone. The Panthers were just leaving the zone, but the puck did not leave the zone and was allowed to be kept in for the goal.
And even before that, Strome beat everybody to the puck to keep that play alive and keep it going. Now we're going to have a penalty when we come back called on the Panthers. The Islanders on top. One
starting to leave the zone. You can roll this play. Panthers coming up high, but look at even Bergenheim here leaving the zone. Look at how much ice is in the middle. And a little drop pass and just swinging. You got to stop and start in your own end. Got to put on the brakes. They're just swinging around, leaving the zone. Kulikov put the puck over the boards intentionally, so not intentionally, but delay a game. So Panthers shorthanded.
Also about knowing who's on the ice. When Vanek is out there, you would think you'd have to make extra sure that you're being responsible. Islanders set up on the power play. Vishnowsky plays up high. Over to Nielsen. Down low it goes. Passed out in front, comes through to the point. Vishnowsky goes to the circle. The shot knocked down, and then Thomas and Vanek banged a bit. Still able to play it was Brock Nelson. Islanders moving it around. Nielsen, Vishnowsky, Nelson, one-timer. Thomas the save. Olsen got all tied up there by Thomas Vanek. Panthers unable to clear it out, but now it does squeak out to center.
This has been a problem for the Panthers, the penalty killing. Last couple of games, they need to develop some confidence on the penalty kill.
Base underwriting brings us the kill. Here's a shot, and they score again. Just flipped on goal, and it beats Tim Thomas. And the Islanders have a 2-0 lead early on.
The penalty killing woes continue for the Panthers. Panthers seem to be in pretty good shape, and a simple wrist shot through traffic. Tim Thomas way deep in his net. And that's not like Tim Thomas. Look how far back into the blue paint Tim Thomas. He's actually backing up. Do you see him backing up there? Tim Thomas is usually driving out. Tim Thomas backs up way towards his goal line. Top half of the net is left open. And a power play goal for the Islanders. That is very uncharacteristic of Tim Thomas. That is not how he plays net. Backing up, he's usually just charging out at the shooter.
2 goals on 2 shots by Thomas Vanek. And the Panthers again, despite what looked like a pretty good start to this game, find themselves behind 2-0 in the first period. Unreal, Bergenheim banging with McDonald. Puck chipped up in the air. Colin McDonald try to play it. I feel like you're hearing the same names a lot. There is a Nielsen, a Nelson, a Nilsson, 2 McDonalds on this Islander team. And a Cizikas, by the way, just for good measure.
Tough to keep that sorted out.
Yeah. Well, when this in doubt, I'll just say Nelson has the puck. It'll be pretty close. Here is Cizikas, by the way. Stole it away. Winchester walks over the line, takes a shot high. Olsen at the point with a big slap shot. That comes through high. Huberdeau down low. Huberdeau works up the boards. Hands over to Goodbranson. Puts it out in front. Has a man. God shoots. Misses the net. Winchester got jammed up there. A little tug by the stick of Straight. Winchester continues to battle. Goodbranson. Nice hold in. Wrist one wide. And Clutterbuck for the Islanders finally able to clear to center. And played there by Josh Bailey. Panthers back defensively. And Goodbranson gives him a good shoulder. But Clutterbuck picks up the puck. Koch battles Bailey down low, comes around Nielsen. Bailey behind the net. Hit by Olsen. One thing when Olsen and Goodbranson play together, you get physical play from that defensive pair for the Panthers. Winchester rolls it all the way down. Clutterbuck in behind the play. Throws the punch at Winchester. And then takes a shot back.
Took a dive. Should be an original just to Clutterbuck. See what happened. The cross-checking call is this. Clutterbuck got cross-checked at the end of it.
He nailed Winchester up high before that.
It's on the cross-checking, so I'm not sure if Clutterbuck's going to get an original, but there's going to be a cross-checking call by Winchester for sure. That's pretty clean hit. Winchester,
okay, yeah.
Needs some discipline. There's the shot, yeah. So that should be a shot. And there's Goodbranson actually with the cross-check. So only 2 minutes for Winchester for roughing. There's going to be a cross-checking call. Is this? Who's getting the call?
Well, Winchester's the only one in the box right now. They're going to put Goodbranson in as well.
There's a roughing.
You got to be kidding me.
Now, that's a terrible call by the referees there. Clutterbuck started that play. He had the original. There should be a rough against Clutterbuck because there was a punch to the face. Clutterbuck had the initial hit. There was a punch to the face by Winchester. You said there was nothing wrong with the original hit. What, the original hit, but watch the punch by Clutterbuck. Little push here, but once he gets up, now watch the punch right there to the head. That should be a roughing call, and then the cross check. So anything.
Well, where's the rough on Winchester and all of that? I mean,
to start it all.
Well, in any event, the Islanders now with a 5-on-3 advantage the full 2 minutes. Vishnofsky goes down low for Franz Nielsen. Vishnofsky again. Opozo thought about the one-timer, instead gives to Vanek, who has 2 goals already. Weaver got a piece of that puck in front. Played by Bailey and Vishnofsky, top of the circle over to Opozo. Vishnofsky again. Opozo fires wide. In behind the net. Played up the boards. Opozo is there. Here's Vanek. Holding at the dot, putting it out in front. Came up high again. Opozo. Vishnofsky fires. That goes wide. May have been deflected in front of the net. Opozo one more time. Straight up. Creeps in, gives to Nielsen. Franz Nielsen looking out in front. Gotch had Bailey covered. Islanders on the perimeter. Vishnofsky hit the skate of Gotch. Vanek able to play it. Crowd getting impatient. Vanek takes a shot. Save Thomas. Rebound. Opozo chips it right through the blue paint. Panthers couldn't clear. Vanek hammers one. Blocked away in front. Here's Opozo, robbed by Thomas. And Thomas able to cover up. Power play will continue. Sting and Paul Simon are coming to the BB&T Center on March 15th, and Ticketmaster.com or 800-745-3000 for your tickets.
Excellent job by the Panthers to keep everything to the outside. 3 players on the ice, compact. You have to block shots. You need some saves. Thomas, a big save at the end of that sequence. Big face-off win.
Yeah, huge in the clear. Vishnofsky and Nielsen got the assists on Vanek's second goal of the game. 2 goals for Vanek in less than a minute. Here's Clutterbuck now moving in and shooting, blocked by Gilbert. Strome is on it. Up high, Clutterbuck. Now McDonald shoots, blocked in front. Dylan Olsen did a great job in front of his own net, physically clearing out Anders Lee. Strome over the line. Back for Clutterbuck. Panthers need one more clear. Clutterbuck fires, saved by Thomas. Rebound chip just wide. Now put towards the net again by Strome. Behind the net. Played over to the boards. Andrew McDonald. Power play is over. Here comes Winchester and Goodbranson. And we're 5-on-5, and the Panthers got out of it. And here's Fleischman up at center, but off a skate. It carries back over the Panther line. Kulikov all over Clutterbuck. Plays it to the corner. Fleischman is there, up the boards. Bolton now takes a shot, taken away by Campbell. And see if the Panthers could get some life out of that 5-on-3 kill.
Outstanding penalty kill by the Panthers. Didn't really give the Islanders many good scoring chances at all. So Panthers penalty killing big, struggling, but a big 5-on-3 for a full 2 minutes. They're able to kill off.
Big hit there, Goodbranson on Colin McDonald. Tom Gilbert under major pressure from Casey Cizikas, and Cizikas grabs him and they got him. Little too overzealous on the forecheck. And now in front of the net, Goodbranson going at it with Colin McDonald.
That could have been the ball game, that penalty kill by the Panthers. Down 5-on-3, able to kill that. So keep this a 2-goal deficit. The Panthers will be on a power play. Cizikas will be in the penalty box when we come back. Colin McDonald, Goodbranson, the shoulder, and just kind of missed him. And Colin McDonald took exception to it and a little cross-check. What's Colin McDonald going to do? I don't think he wants to bark up that tree. That's a tall tree to climb for McDonald.
Better keep that stick in between himself and Goodbranson.
Yes, exactly. Keep the stick and the gloves on.
Well, amazing. They both get penalties. I'm not sure why. I mean, that's Eric Goodbranson and Colin McDonald just kind of going at it.
Maybe the refs trying to keep control of this game because we've seen some rough stuff. They don't want it to get out of control.
Well,
Dave Jackson, the conversation with Voracek.
All right, here we go. First Panther power play. Trying to get a goal back. Vanek has both goals for the Islanders. The Bukestad line on. Fleischman plays one of the point positions on the power play as well. But Straight able to win a battle and clear it all the way way down.
Big momentum shift, 5-on-3, penalty kill. Now if you could get a power play goal, a 5-on-3 penalty kill was just huge at this time of the game for the Panthers.
The last 2 games, the Panthers have been behind the whole game, and they've come back twice to tie the games up. Here's a chance for Boys, but he goes cross ice and picked off by Josh Bailey. Franz Nielsen moving into the offensive zone. Bailey joins him. Nice poke check by Fleischmann. Fleischmann's been active here early in the game. Boys down the wing, makes a move, lost the puck.
And the Islanders 6-1 loss yesterday to the Devils, gave up 4 power play goals. Long blast, Tim Thomas had to cover it up, but Islanders penalty killing struggling as well.
Well, mark your calendars, fans. Bobblehead Nights coming to the BB&T Center. First 10,000 fans. Get them on Sunday. It's an afternoon game against Boston, then the Jersey game on the 14th. Sunday afternoon against Vancouver, the Scott Mellanby bobblehead, and then the Brian Skrudland bobblehead on the 4th against Calgary of April. Go to FloridaPanthers.com or call 954-835-PUCK. Get your tickets. Here comes Drew Shore speeding through center. Upshaw on the wing, flips it behind the net. Races on. DeHaan sends it around the boards, and look out, Islanders are moving. Grabner in over the line, takes a shot high.
Grabner's got 3 shorthanded goals on the season. He had 2 on the same penalty a couple games back against the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Hayes now out there on the power play. Shore digs it free. Half a minute to go in the man advantage. Nothing doing so far. Panthers look to get set up. Shore behind the net. Poked away by Hickey. And Bailey gets to the forehand, has some time. Straight doesn't have a stick, and he passed it to him. Dylan Olsen walks in and fires save. Rebound, Hayes couldn't get enough of it. And Anders Nilsson able to cover up.
Bailey tried to pass to Straight. Straight didn't have a stick in his hands. The pass, and whoops, had to stop. Dylan Olsen locked and loaded. Nilsson able to make the save.
It's like ordering in a restaurant when the waiter or waitress doesn't write it down. Doesn't that bug you? That's like passing a guy without a stick.
Yes.
Right?
Basically, yes. That's a good analogy.
You're being kind. Here's Huberdeau throwing one in front, deflected in the blue paint. Winchester's on it. Huberdeau again! And Nilsson's got it! Oh, the Panthers are right there in front of the net, but Anders Nilsson holds him off the scoreboard.
And some chances on the side. Nilsson with a dazzling save. All kinds of bodies in front, and pops loose, and Nilsson just lying around along that goal line. Able to just lie along that goal line, keep that puck out of the net from there, but Huberdeau had a tremendous chance.
Power play ends, and the Panthers still here in the first, down by a pair on Long Island.
Pair of goals, the Islanders lead. Hornacek had a good, lengthy conversation during the timeout with the referee. Dave Jackson wanted some explanation, so trying to get a handle on all these penalties that have been called. The referee's very active, involved in this game. The Panthers have been on the short end of the stick of most of the penalty calls.
Been 7 minors already called on the Panthers. Vanek with the 2 goals, now 21 on the year. His 9th year in the NHL. He's had at least 20 goals every single year. This one bounces out in front. Gotch plays it. Weaver at the point with a wrister. That hit bodies and knocked down, and Strome controls. Likely his last home game as an Islander. Look out, it's a 2-on-1. Strome is with Vanek. Strome back for Vanek. One-timer, Thomas. Nice right pad save. He got over. Islanders hit the road, and Vanek will likely be dealt by the deadline on Wednesday. That's the last home game for him in an Islander jersey, most likely.
Tim Thomas read that play really well. That pass over, and Thomas was over in plenty of time to make that save on Vanek.
Strome breaks it again. Centering pass knocked away by Olsen. Puck behind the net. Opozo try to get it out in front. Opozo again. Skates away, cross ice. It gets through to Vishnowsky. Putting it out in front. Nice interception by Hayes, or else Opozo would have had a golden opportunity. Barch gets it over the line. Hayes after it with Hickey. Hayes gets it around for Sean Matthias. He shifts up high. 2 Islanders chase him. Open man is Hayes. Plays it back around for Barch. Gives to Matthias again. Gets hit by Hickey. And the Islanders able to clear. Strome goes off the glass, and both teams go for a change. Hayes was on the near side, so he's still out there. Now he'll go off as the Panthers shoot in. Approaching 4 minutes left here in the opening period. Miles turn it over at center ice, but get the puck right back. Clutterbuck flips in. We're back with you Tuesday night at 7 o'clock here on Fox Sports Florida. Final game of the quick road trip in Boston. And the Panthers are home next Friday night against Buffalo, Sunday afternoon against the Bruins. Grabner working with Campbell. Played ahead, Brad Boyes at center. Shoots in. Bergenheim after it. Boyes and Bergenheim, a couple of former Islanders. The Islanders made the playoffs last year, that top line. Here's Bergenheim shooting, save. Boyes trying to get to the rebound. Bergenheim gets a piece of it. It goes wide.
Bergenheim had his stick held going to the net. Couldn't get his stick on the ice. Looked like it was wrapped up by an Islander. That puck was lying there.
Well, I was saying that top line for the Islanders last year, taking them to the playoffs. Molson, Tavares, and Boyes, and none of them in the Islander lineup. Two not even on the team. Tavares hurt. Get a whistle here. Fans sign up for Panther Live Rewards right now and start turning your everyday social activity into points and prizes. Log on PanthersLiveFanRewards.com. Times change the snap of a finger in the NHL, don't they?
It's amazing, yes. I mean, teams can change the trades, everything, what happens, but a lot of volatility. And that's the case here. Yeah, you just mentioned the Islanders had a top line last year, and 2/3 of them not even on the team.
Turnover here. Bailey shoots, and it deflects wide. Play by Olsen. Shore. Pass was behind Upshaw, hit him in the skate. And Nielsen holds it in. Anders Lee behind the Panther net. Just his 5th game, Lee, a young player for the Islanders, has 3 goals in his first 4 games. Campbell, or should I say Fleischman after with straight, and Shore there to dig it free. Beats Campbell now. Around for Fleischman. Fleischman down low. Straight works in. Fleischman still has it. Now Campbell turning, putting it out towards Shore. Couldn't get a shot away. Lee all over Shore. He pokes it for Upshaw. Panthers working now in the offensive zone. Good effort there by Drew Shore. Gilbert goes cross ice. Campbell off the boards. Couldn't move it along further.
There's a play by Campbell. He's kind of in between. He went to chip it in, but was pulling back. I'm okay. If you go straight forward there, chip, and then play the man's not going to get by you. Just kind of a half-hearted chip by Campbell. Needs to be a stronger play.
Panthers back in deep again. Marcel Gotch up to the point. Weaver throws it in front. Kicked away by the veteran Lubomir Visnovsky. Vanek outside the line. Chops one in. Cut off by Kulikov. A minute and a half to go here in the first. Kulikov on the dump in. Hickey back. Opozo throws it all the way down the ice, and that'll be an icing on the Islanders.
And Panthers in their own end, Jimmy Hayes. But you need better structure in your own end. You have to be able to be strong defensively. Jimmy Hayes, and he can just roll this play. You see how everyone collapses down, and Hayes back. He's responsible for the defenseman, but he helps out down low and gets a stick on it. All of a sudden, the Panthers are gone the other way in transition. So there's an example of good defensive hockey leading to some offense. And that's how the Panthers have to play. They were tight, they were compact. Hayes gets that stick in the passing lane. All of a sudden, you're off to the races.
Bjugstad won the draw. Goodbranson gathers it in. Throws it around the boards. Olsen will pinch here in the corner. And Bjugstad gets the puck to Brad Boyes. Oh, Bergenheim was open in front, but it was deflected away. And now a breakaway. It's Vanek. Goodbranson hustled back. And Thomas will cover up. Great work there and skating ability from Eric Goodbranson to get back defensively.
Cut him off at the pass. Full flight. Take a good angle by Goodbranson, helping out his partner. And then Dylan Olsen picks up his man, Opozo, going to the net. Goodbranson can skate. That's one of his best attributes. And looked like it might have been a breakaway for Vanek. Goodbranson got on his horse and took that away.
He's been active in this first period, Goodbranson. Thomas Vanek has 5 shots already in the game. Boys climbs away and throws it on net. Stick save, big rebound. Bergenheim, but it fluttered off his stick. He didn't get all of it. Bergenheim was a first-round pick of the Islanders way back in 2002. Having a solid season for the Panthers. Bergenheim back from the injuries. 14 goals now. His career high is 17 a couple of years ago with the Cats. Grabner creeps out to center. Clutterbuck wheels into the zone. Goodbranson picks up a loose puck. Gets the center and dumps in. Panthers look for one more shot here before the end of the period. Mathias on the forecheck. Vishnowsky floats it around the boards. Final seconds of the period. And the Islanders smart with that puck. Oh, Goodbranson, big hit on straight as he tried to step up. Here comes Anders Lee. Here comes Clutterbuck. They're lucky there's 6 people in between them and Erik Goodbranson.
Erik Goodbranson has to play that style. He leads the Panthers in hits with 120, and he's had a bunch the last couple of games, but doing his best to be physical and straight. Head down for 1 second, and Goodbranson, that head down, and you can see Goodbranson reads it perfectly and puts that shoulder, and that is a good, clean hit. As he puts that shoulder right into straight.
That's an impressive opening period from Goodbranson. They called a couple of penalties on him, but you know what? He was solid and questionable calls. But the Islanders, after 20 minutes, as we see the Cats head to the dressing room, they've got the lead. And if Thomas Vanek is auditioning for another team with that trade deadline, he had a pretty good audition tape in the first.
He did. Panthers get caught leaving the zone. Thomas Vanek, natural goal scorer upstairs. Number 20, as you mentioned, he scored 20 goals every year in the NHL. Clutterbuck and DeHaan with the helpers at 6:41. Then on the power play. And this is rare for Tim Thomas. He's back deep on his goal line. Usually he's out. Tim Thomas back into that blue paint. A simple wrist shot, has eyes over the shoulder on the power play. Number 2 for Vanek. Hadn't scored 8 goals coming into this game, but he gets 2 in the first period. And the Islanders have the lead.
Yeah, he had that 8-game drought. Now gets a pair. And the second one, obviously, one that you should and you want to get the save. But the Panthers showed well after that again. And even this game out a bit. Let's go downstairs. Sean Bergenheim, we talked about it late in the period. Bergie, the solid season that you're having. How you feeling right now physically, and what's been going well for you offensively on that line? I know Bjugstad's now in there instead of Barkov, but boy, he's still on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, it's just good chemistry, and I think we complement each other well, and then we talk a lot, so there's a lot of plays that we do on the ice. We just know where we're supposed to be out there, so that helps a lot.
For you, Sean, I looked at it. You 15 of the last 19 games, you've had 3 shots on net or more. You get a lot of pucks towards the goaltender. Is that kind of a game plan going in, is just get as many shots on net as possible?
Well, I think throughout my career, I've always tried to shoot a lot, and it's just, I think, my type of, just the way I play. I try to, when I get a chance, I put it on the net, and I try to take the puck to the net, and obviously it helps getting the puck too, and that's where, again, my line mates come in.
Sean, how do you kind of get yourself mentally ready for this time of year? Obviously, you're not where you want to be in the standings, but shift in, shift out, you seem to have that intensity and energy every single game.
Well, I think no matter what game it is, if you're out of the playoffs or you're battling for the playoffs or you're in the playoffs, it's the final, whatever. I think you gotta prepare yourself the same way to every game, and that's what I try to do. And I don't have another answer for it. I just think it doesn't matter what game. You got to play the same way always.
Bergie, always appreciate the time. Keep it going. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right, Sean Bergenheim, well said about being ready to play games, and he's always bringing that energy, Billy. And, he's one guy you notice every single night is always in there grinding and banging.
Yes, and a lot like Bjugstad, too, and Goodbranson that first period, noticeable, but consistency. I mean, some players have had it for the Panthers, but just not enough up and down. But I think Bergenheim's a great example of what consistent play can do.
All right, first period in the books. The Islanders have the lead on the Panthers 2-0. Here's what's coming up. I'll have a one-on-one with John Madden. Some very interesting thoughts from the Panthers assistant coach. We'll look into the trade deadline as well and break down the first period, all just ahead. Panthers hockey on Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Plumbers 911, where emergency plumbing service is just one click away. And by Chevrolet and your local Chevrolet dealers. A Sunday afternoon on Long Island, but it hasn't been all that friendly so far. Things have gotten physical. Thomas Vanek has lit the lamp twice. He's got 21 now on the year, and he gives the Islanders the 2-goal advantage after the first.
Getting ready for the start of the second period. You take a look at the long history. The Islanders had that great run in the 80s, the retired numbers. Some pretty good hockey players up there. Take a look at our breakdown from that first period. You got to be careful. Gudbranson gets caught. Open up that middle of the ice. Got to protect the middle of the ice. Olsen and Gudbranson caught too far apart. But Gudbranson able to get back on Thomas Vanek, and then Olsen picks up his man. So good defensive hockey. Thomas able to make the save.
Look at the numbers in the opening period. The shots ended up 14-11 for the Islanders. They got that one power play goal. And they got a 2-0 lead as we head into the second period. A lot of penalty minutes during the first, as you can see. Today's telecast on Fox Sports Florida is presented by the Florida Lottery. The Bukestad line begins the second period for the Panthers. Weaver and Kulikov back on defense. Here's a look at the veteran, 30-year-old Thomas Vanek. And right off the draw, straight chops it into the Panther zone. Kulikov spins it around the boards. Andrew McDonald, one of the players we mentioned at the intermission, perhaps to be traded in an icing here. And he's only 27 years old. And he's a guy, Billy, that, you know, has some offensive ability, and he should be just getting into his real prime of his career. He might be a valuable guy.
Be a good pickup. 24 points on the year. He leads the NHL in block shots. So he's got a good combination. Yes, one of those players that could be highly coveted. Could probably get a good return as well if you're the New York Islanders.
Yeah. Josh Bailey lets it go through. Upshaw able to play it. Fleischman tracks the puck down. McDonald back defensively. Fleischman shoots. And it deflected and went well wide of the net. Straight. Bats it out to center. Franz Nielsen for Bailey. Down the wing. Sharp angle shot. Thomas had it all the way and holds in the glove.
Go back to that first period, that 5-on-3 penalty kill. Panthers were down a couple goals. Get through that big penalty kill, and Tim Thomas made a big save on a 2-on-1 against Thomas Vanek on a one-time shot. So some good things there late in that first period to keep the Panthers in the game, trying to regroup in the dressing room after that first period.
Been a struggle here at home for the Islanders. They've only won 4 of their last 20 games here in Nassau Coliseum. Remarkable. And the Panthers, the last couple of games, they didn't win them, but they did come back quite a few times, including 3 times down by 2 goals. So see if they could do it again. Huberdeau giving chase with Vishnofsky.
Only one win their last 8 here at home for the Islanders.
Oh, a stick goes flying. Islanders break in. It's a 2-on-1. It's Opozo taking the shot, and Thomas the save. Strome was driving to the net. Gotch's stick was lost. That's the one that went flying in the air back in the other zone. Winchester gets it out of trouble. Chips in. Gets after it. Winds and fires wide.
Again, a tough pinch by Weaver. Gotch was the support for Weaver, but Gotch got the stick knocked out of his hands. Odd man rush for the Islanders.
Nice back check there by Bukestad. Moves it out to center. Boys has Bergenheim with him. 2-on-2. Here's Bergenheim moving in and shooting. Blocked away by Kartner. Pretty nifty play there by Boys with that drop pass and then driving towards the net to open that lane for Bergenheim. And this one
inside?
I think he was outside the blue line.
That was close.
It was close.
They're going to talk about it.
Yeah, it's a penalty.
Fired it up, so they're going to call penalty.
I thought he was outside. All right, good call.
It was close. It was borderline. It was right there. Kartner gets a delay of game penalty. Panthers the blue line and right on the blue line.
Yeah. Great call by the officials. It's good.
Right on top of it, yes. And he can look up right away, defenseman. That's embarrassing for a defenseman. Only 5 feet from the glass. And Kartner not happy about the penalty, but he did serve up a souvenir, my friend, illegally.
Second power play of the game. Let's see if the Panthers can cut this lead in half here. And They get the draw. It's Kulikov at the line, giving to Jonathan Huberdeau. Boy, he could use one, couldn't he? Here's Huberdeau, goes through him, he gets after it, bats it over Kulikov at the point again. Tight quarters here. Look at Cizikas, aggressive. Huberdeau gets the pass all the way through. The shot deflected, though. Kulikov able to hold it in. Kulikov hangs on. Now Gotch up high. Back again. Kulikov turning, giving to Fleischmann. And Gotch takes a shot blocked by Cizikas, and that one hurt him. Slow getting up. Panthers still in the offensive zone. Fleischmann moves in and fires. Save by Nilsson. And no rebound. And McDonald takes down Winchester.
Winchester's been involved again. Another shot while he's down on the ice.
Yeah, that's a little cheap shot there. Winchester was being held, and he caught a jab, and Huberdeau is still in there. Huberdeau is still tied up in front of the net as well.
A lot of chippiness, a lot of nastiness in this game. Fleischmann the shot, Winchester the screen, and
McDonald tackled him.
Tackled him, yeah. Tackled him down to the ice, but now the rest decided to put the whistles away. There's Cizikas who blocked the shot. Valiantly got back into the play, but he hobbled back to the bench. Now there's going to be a roughing call, I think, against Huberdeau and Clutterbuck.
Oh, come on. I mean, just let him play. They're pushing and shoving in front of the net, not bothering anybody.
I think they're trying to keep the game under control with all the pushing and shoving and make sure things don't get out of hand. And Cizikas went down, and shot blocking's become an art, but paying a heavy price. That is just a tough way to make a living. Cizikas took it right off the inside of the shin pad, trying to shake it off on the bench.
Now we remain 5-on-4 after the minor penalties again. And the Islanders able to clear right off the draw.
Florida Panthers penalty number 11.
We've had 16 penalties already called in this game. Remarkable. Offside the call as the Panthers try to break in. So nothing doing so far in the man advantage.
And that's a play just, you have to stay onside. You're trying to get in on a power play, and you can't be too eager. It's important. Those are kind of the little paying attention to detail things. Panthers just go offside. Now the faceoff's outside.
Vanek, by the way, in the first period led everybody by a wide margin with 6 shots on goal. He has the 2 Islander goals. Bergenheim for boys, but they couldn't break in clean. Bukestad battling 2 Islanders, taken away.
You better pay attention to the Islander forward shorthanded. They're looking to go shorthanded on any kind of miscue or break.
That one came all the way down at 185 feet right on goal. 35 left in the power play. Kulikov on the shoot-in. Fleischmann is there at the point. They give to Boys. Turning. Plays it around for Nick Bukestad. Bukestad with a 3-game point streak going. Put right in front of the net, and no Panther there, so Nilsson just covers up in the blue paint. Bruce Springsteen is coming to the BB&T Center again. Great show from The Boss on April 29th, and tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster. Now Shore with Mathias and Hayes, and big bodies out there. See if they can win the faceoff and get an opportunity on the man advantage. Shore does win it. Back for Campbell. Campbell moves in and shoots. Easy blocker save for Nilsson. Round it comes for Gilbert. And back for Shore in the corner. Up to the point, Campbell gives to Mathias. Shore again. Hayes is right in front of the net. Shore works down the wall. Cross ice pass. Never got all the way through cleanly. Here comes Grabner. In over the Panther line. Grabner takes a shot. Campbell got a piece of it. And the puck goes out of play as the power play comes to an end.
And on the faceoff, it's important. Drew Shore just trying to swing. He's on his forehand, which means he's got to swing and use his body. But watch him turn quickly and use his bum to protect. He tried it once and then swing, and then he just shields the body. Good play there against Bailey, but that's tough as a forward, but it's about timing. Able to win that on his forehand, but that's using your body on the faceoff to protect the puck and win it back to your defenseman.
So we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. 4 minutes gone by here in the second. Panthers beat the Islanders in the first meeting back in January at the BB&T Center, a 4-2 win. Tim Thomas had 31 saves in that game. Wishnowsky all the way back. Gotch separates him from the puck. Gotch throws it in front. Winchester couldn't get a deflection on goal, though. Thomas Hickey, high draft pick back in 2007, 4th overall by the Kings. And the Islanders got him on waivers. And he's been a steady blue liner since getting here to New York. Look out, a little miscommunication deep in the zone, and the Panthers turn it over. Opozo, and then a penalty on the Panthers again. Off the turnover, the Panthers will be short-handed. Goodbranson for the trip.
There's a chance just a turnover. Create your own headaches. Panthers had the puck. They turn it over, can't get it out, and Goodbranson takes the feed out from Opozo.
You've been saying that way too often in all seriousness. So much of this
is self-inflicted.
Yes.
Got to get away from the self-inflicted wounds.
4th power play of the game for the Islanders, 1 for 3 so far. And held in at the line by Wishnowsky. Wishnowsky pressured by Winchester, gives to Brock Nelson. He holds at the circle, looking in front, no lane there. Kulikov did a nice job. Now in the slot, big save by Thomas. Rebound in front. Vanek couldn't get a shot away. Tim Thomas came up large that time. Here's Nelson on a one-timer, missed high. Weaver takes a swipe at it. Couldn't get it past Opozo. Franz Nielsen brings it around again. Vanek checked by Kulikov. Winchester in the scrum, too. Wishnowsky trying to keep it alive. Finally, Kulikov just hammers it all the way down the ice, and the Panthers will get a wholesale change on the PK.
Outstanding save by Thomas. You don't want those shots from the middle of the ice, but Thomas able to read that play perfectly, get over and get that paddle on it.
Look out, a puck put right in front of the net. And Thomas got back, and Vanek couldn't pull the trigger. Thomas Vanek has 2 already. It's Fleischmann shorthanded cross ice. Finds Gilbert. Plays down low, double teamed, and take it away. Opozo leads the breakout. Over the Panther line. Fleischmann is back. Drop pass, good hit by Mathias on Vanek. Andrew McDonald holds. Now DeHaan. Over to McDonald. In the corner, it's Josh Bailey. Vanek's on the far side. Locked and loaded, trying for a one-timer. Bailey took the shot, blocked by Kulikov. Here's Opozo setting up DeHaan. Deflected away by Mathias. And only 13 seconds now left on the Goodbranson penalty.
That was a little more compact. Look at the box here now. 4 guys in the middle, but you see everything to the outside. Now compact, protect that middle of the ice. And look, all 4 players, sticks and lanes, no options. Finally, Bailey tries to force it, but you see the middle of the ice is covered. Everything's to the outside for the Islanders. That's exactly what you want on a penalty kill.
Kulikov, good hustle off the draw, and they're allowed to kill off basically the rest of the penalty on the clear all the way down. Goodbranson. They've called 3 already in the game on Goodbranson, and he's out of the box. So the Panthers' penalty killing, which had been a sore spot, is now keeping them in the game. They've done a nice job here against the Islanders, and it remains 2-0. Here's a shot put out in front, bouncing around. Cleared to the line, not out. Now pushed out of the zone. And Hickey at his own blue line. Lead pass tipped by Boys. Kulikov is back. Over to Weaver. And now Kulikov himself. Bjugstad with speed gets the puck in stride. Bjugstad tries to get around straight. Couldn't do it. Upshaw. Thrown up high. Goodbranson didn't get all that shot. He's loaded up for the one-timer. Got off the heel of his stick. Bailey under pressure, but climbs away. And finds straight. Over the Panther line. Stolen by Brian Campbell. Campbell takes a look. Goodbranson jumping up. Goodbranson is in. He shoots. Saved by Nielsen. Rebound. And Nielsen makes the stop. Eric Goodbranson hopped up on his horse and nearly had a goal there. Nielsen able to keep it out of the net.
period goals by Thomas Vanek, the difference. Well, you want to start good place. A diligent back check by Bergenheim, number 20 to the left of your screen. That allows 51 Campbell to step up. And then you got the transition. Goodbranson gets on his horse. A sweet little pass by Campbell leads to that chance. And that all started with a back check by Bergenheim. That allowed Campbell to step up, turn over the puck, and then Goodbranson gets on his horse.
Very active game this afternoon from Goodbranson. Here he is again with a puck. Takes a shot that deflected and went wide. Huberdeau knocks it free for Fleischmann. Dylan Olsen along the boards. Huberdeau after it again. Huberdeau gathers it in. Finds Shore. Shot blocked. And finally Bailey able to get it to the line. Shore nearly held it in the zone again. Here's Vishnowsky. Turns it over. Fleischmann winds and shoots it. It goes high over the net. Panthers putting some pressure on now. Lee the other way, flips in. Both Islander goals came in the first, both from Thomas Vanek, less than a minute apart. And we get a whistle and a stoppage here. Face-off back in the Panther zone. Follow the Panthers on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. There's breaking news, team updates, inside photos, and a whole lot more there. So check out Panthers social media, powered by Ford.
You on Instagram as well? Twitter?
I am now. Yeah, I know. I started with the Instagram, yeah.
I gotta try and figure that one out. Is it hard?
No, you take a picture and you put it on your phone. It's not, no.
I can figure that one out?
Yes, if you figured out the Twitter, you can figure out the Instagram. You'll be good. You don't take a lot of interesting photos here, do you?
Just with your socks and stuff like that.
Right, you're ripping me.
Some of your wardrobe. Yes, that's what I wanted for.
You should
just
call it.
Just some pictures of yourself.
The handle will be @RipGoldstein on Instagram. Cheap shots at which is fine because there's no such thing as bad publicity. I've been telling you that for years.
There you go. You had some good socks on the other night. You looked like you...
Killer Bee socks.
Yeah, the Killer Bees. And then you had some Russian socks I swore that you...
Russian socks.
You got from Russia the other day. They had checkers all over them.
You know, Putin and I did a little shopping over there at Sochi. Getting close to the halfway point of the game. Still 2-0 Islanders on the Vanek goals. Matthias in his own end. Works it around. Kulikov couldn't handle it. Put right in front. Upshaw there defensively. Try to clear. Matthias on the second attempt. The pass, though, behind Kulikov. Nice spin by him to get out.
I haven't seen the Panthers with a lot of second chances.
Yeah, it's been one and done for the most part. They had a couple of flurries there in the first in front of the net. Held it at the point. Opozo throws one high. And to that point now, halfway through the game, the Panthers... Here's Vishnowsky trying to get in. Nice back check. Glove down, loose in front. Thomas down, and he covers in the blue paint. Say it's getting to that point where the Panthers really need that next goal halfway through the game.
And the problem with the Panthers falling down by 2 every time, your margin of error becomes so small after that. Bodies in front side of the net. Cool. There you go. Don't let no one stand around. Thomas Vanek tried to... That's how you finish around the net. Laying a little lumber. Get everyone out of there. Tim Thomas allowed to cover the puck. You can see 3-4 Panthers in your screen. No Islanders. The only Islander was there that got cleared out.
Draw to Thomas's right. Gotch won it. Sent cross ice. Islanders hold in. Now Gotch takes away. Isles back defensively, though. Gotch tried to break in. Knocked away by DeHaan. Gotch bangs into the boards and spins it around. Goodbranson there. Absorbs the hit. Kicks it ahead for Winchester. Winchester works the end boards. Kartner is with him. Winchester still with it. Cizikas now takes away. Dylan Olsen with a big hit on McDonald. Try to hold it in the zone. Finally cleared. Boy, Goodbranson and Olsen. I mean, they may not always be perfect, but they let you know they're mentally and physically in the game, for sure. Give them the minutes.
Late in the year, team's struggling. Give them 20, 25 minutes tonight. See what happens.
That physical aspect of the game, Goodbranson and Olsen as well. Gotta like it. Bukestad comes all the way back to dig it free. The clear by Boys. Bergenheim now over to Brian Campbell. Campbell leads Bergenheim into the zone. Poked off his stick in the last second, though. Looked like maybe an opportunity. It does force an icing on the Islanders.
We got some pictures of Goldie, do we?
Oh, what are you doing to me here? Oh, geez.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, yeah.
Over there in Sochi.
It's with TJ Oshie after the shootout.
Like the Oshie call.
Well.
By you. Oshie, can we see? Or
Oshie, can you see?
can you
Yes.
see? Yes.
Don't know how it popped into my mind, but it did. Well, that's a nice picture. I know that's not you. That's the guys in the truck. Thanks, guys.
As he kept rolling over for penalty shot after penalty shot.
Well, was that remarkable? Now, you don't want to see that in the NHL, do
No,
you?
I like the different guys and the different players. I don't think he can keep rolling out the same player to take the shots every time.
It was amazing. Oshie was, really one of the last guys on that Olympic team. And part of the reason David Poile of the Predators, who was the general manager, said, well, he's really good in the shootouts.
I think it probably came down to Opozo here and Oshie. I think they were probably along those last two decisions.
Here comes Nelson with a shot. Nice blocker save by Tim Thomas. He's really found his groove after that Vanek goal that made it 2-0 back in the first. Weaver for Jimmy Hayes. Lead pass. Huberdeau kicks it to his tape nicely. And Kulikov. Boy, that was close to them going through center ice with speed. They just couldn't quite gather it in, Huberdeau and Kulikov. And now Grabner walks in 3-on-2. Feeds Clutterbuck in front. Oh, it hit the crossbar. Nelson had an open net. And he hit the iron, and it stays out. Was that ever close? 2-0 Isles in the second. Tim Thomas's helmet here this afternoon on Long Island. He's going old school there, and one of the many different helmets Thomas has worn this season.
Rocking a lot of different looks. Started with the white. The old Van Beesbrook one was the second one, then the red one. Only had, what was that, 1 or 2 game experiment for that one. And then we're back to the old school blue. I mean, that's something the one he has on now, something that you would see back in the early 80s probably.
That's got to be a one-day deal, no?
You would think so, but
I think so. I don't know. We'll see Tuesday. I'm sure he'll be in the nets in Boston. What will Tim wear? Grabner moving in. Isles odd man rush. Out in front, it's Nelson again with the crossbar just moments ago. That time had the shot blocked. And Upshall goes the other way. Fleischman with him. Upshall sends it around. Islanders have been pretty responsible defensively. I haven't seen odd man rushes for the Panthers in this game yet.
and the Islanders have had a bunch. Number of 3-on-2s, 2-on-1s.
Upshall works it free. Try to get it up high, but picked off by Opozo.
Just keep that puck down low if you're Upshall. Down there you have something working. He forces it through the middle. Don't force passes.
Goodbranson and Olsen getting big minutes in this game here today. They're back on now. Goodbranson gloves it down. Puck bounced away from him, though. And then Olsen steps up. Now the Panthers come through. It's Winchester on the wing with a shot blocker save. Big rebound. Opozo's got it, though. Opozo to the Panther line. Nice little poke check by Winchester, who hustled back. And Olsen able to clear.
Jesse Winchester down the wing, no play. They're not forcing it, just got the shot. Did you see where the rebound came? Right back in the middle of the slot, so it was into script, but he created a scoring chance out of it.
Keep it simple, right?
Down, just keep it simple. Look for those rebounds. Have people driving hard to that net.
Cizikas plays it to the end boards. McDonald there first. Goodbranson cut it off. Nice speed, Huberdeau. And Gotch leads the break. Here's Brad Boys over the blue line. Boys with a shot. Nilsson finds it and hangs on in the midsection.
The post by Brock Nelson. Jimmy Hayes, number 12 in the middle of your screen. Roll this. He's got to either play the body or he's got to stick with it. He doesn't play the man. Leads to a 3-on-2 transition. The pass, and then that one clearly right off the crossbar post by Nelson. But it started in the middle of the ice there with Jimmy Hayes. He's either got to back up and skate, or he's got to play the man through the middle and be physical, because if you miss the man and the puck, that's what happens. Transition 3-on-2 the other way.
Nelson, another one of those young Islanders, the 30th pick back in the 2010 draft. Scored a goal for the Islanders in the game at Yankee Stadium against the Rangers. Big thrill for him. Has 10 on the year. Bergenheim waits for everybody to clear the zone and then flips in. Goes after it with Nielsen. And a penalty coming up. And they're going to get Bergenheim.
And those are the penalties you can't take. Offensive zone penalties to Bergenheim. So Panthers shorthanded. A lot of penalties in this game. The latest victim, Sean Bergenheim. Stefan Bergenheim in the penalty box, an offensive zone penalty, and Panthers had something working, but he takes the hooking call, so Panthers shorthanded. Trying to move, and I talk about it a lot, but nothing good happens when your stick's in the air. He had a little hook on him too by McDonald, but if you keep that stick on the ice, that penalty doesn't occur. If you play hockey, you got to play hockey as much as you can with your stick on the ice to try and avoid those type of things.
Fifth power play already in the game for the Islanders. Face-off win from Gotch allows the clear. Islanders scored on their first power play of the game. The Vanek goal, one of his two. He's got both of them. Kulikov hustles over. Couldn't get it past Del Pozo. 3 blue jerseys, 2 white jerseys along the boards, and Kulikov away with it. Good effort there. Gets the puck to center, and then pokes it off the stick of Nelson.
Kulikov played very well this afternoon. Gudbranson, Olsen, those are the 3 defensemen. Really have stuck out to me.
They got a lot of playing time as well. Obviously, all young players. Here's Vishnofsky back in his own zone. 37 years old, Lubomir Vishnofsky. Forced back by Mathias. And then stolen away by Fleischmann and Mathias, but Lee takes back for the Islanders. Mathias buzzing around there on the penalty kill. Now McDonald up ahead. Lee, nice touch pass. Strome down the wing. Strome has a step. Strome shoots wide. DeHaan winds up and fires. He hit the post. Lee at the end boards. Strome. Checked by Gudbranson. Upshaw there, and he's able to clear. Unfortunately for the Panthers, it catches the bench, so we get a whistle. Come celebrate Italian culture at Duffy's Sky Club with the San Gennaro Feast atmosphere on Friday, March 14th. The Panthers and the Devils, the all-inclusive package gives you the ticket, the Italian buffet, and drinks for $55. Call 954-835-PUCK.
Shot was deflected in front by Lee. Changed direction off the post.
So a couple of pucks, one off the post, one off the crossbar here in the last few minutes for the Islanders. Here's McDonald winding with a big shot blocked by Boyes. Drew Shore and Boyes able to get it down the ice. Bergenheim on his feet, right at the bottom of your screen, ready to come out of the box, and the Panthers kill it off. Here's Opozo putting it in front. Strome couldn't get a stick on it, and now Bergenheim speeding out to center. Bukestad's with him. Bergenheim flips in. Bergenheim keeps on trucking. Scoops it up below the goal line. Puts it out in front. Nilsson got a piece of it, and Opozo's out. Campbell cut it off. Here's Brad Boyes after the puck, but it comes out of the zone. Approaching 3 minutes left here in the second period. Both goals for the Islanders came in the opening 7:39 of the game from Thomas Vanek. Loose puck in front of the net, poked on net. Thomas the save, and he'll hold it in the glove.
See Opozo giving him a pad after he gave him the extra shove. Thomas was ready to go after him. Our accurate collision, Eric Gudbranson, this is a nightly theme, and the head down and the perfect timing. As soon as that head went down, Gudbranson, and when Gudbranson plays well, he hits legally and he hits hard. His feet were on the ice, the shoulder right into the Islander crest. Gudbranson with our accurate collision.
We've been strong today, back out there again with Olsen.
1 shot, 3 blocks for Gudbranson.
And a whole boatload of hits. Panthers wind up, Nilsson had to play it, so no icing, and now he's got to cover up, so the draw in the Islanders zone. That would have been an icing had it gone wide of the net.
Panthers have been allowed to hang around. Some penalty killing, some goal post, and Huberdeau had a chance back in that first period, but they've kept themselves in this game, but they've got to find a way. Get more second chances. Numbers for Gudbranson, those 120 hits lead the Panthers by quite a wide margin. He's a physical beast.
Draw in the offensive zone, see if Gotch can pull it back. Goes the other way, and DeHaan sends it around. Grabner couldn't handle it. Huberdeau quickly closing on Grabner to take away and set up Gotch. Gotch moving into the forehand. Nilsson with the save. Good play there by Jonathan Huberdeau to set up Gotch for the shot.
And as forwards, you're taught is to come back and put pressure. Forwards have to back check and you have to put pressure. And Grabner, turnover, McDonald. Good recovery by McDonald. And then right in the crest. Nilsson able to control that rebound extremely well.
2.5 to go in the period. Anders Nilsson in the Islander goal has stopped all 19 shots he's seen in the game so far. 2-4-2 in his career. 23 years old. Panthers win the draw. Gilbert in the corner. Throws it in front. Knocked away, and Andrew McDonald's got the puck. Around the boards. Gilbert kicked it. Got a skate on it. Desperately trying to hold it in, but it squirts out of the zone to center. 3 right at the red line. Boys chips back in. DeHaan takes a look around. Bergenheim charges and rocks him. But the clear back into the Panther zone. Gilbert throws it up the middle off the skate of Bjugstad. Here's Visnovsky, bothered by Bergenheim, who nearly forced a turnover. Now he does. It's Matthias for Upshall. Save, rebound, score! The Panthers work it, and Sean Matthias gets a goal. And it's 2-1.
Tenacity. Bergenheim, tenacity, never quitting. Started that whole play. And just as I was talking about, forwards, back pressure, Visnovsky, Bergenheim, able to pop that off the stick. The blast, and there's the second chance. Just a play. Upshall just get it on net. Lets it rip. A big, juicy rebound right between the hash marks. Sean Matthias, Johnny on the spot, puts it into the empty net.
Goals in back-to-back games now for Matthias Bergenheim. 4 points in his last 3. And the Panthers get one late in the period to make it 2-1. Matthias again on the forecheck.
Bergenheim's been strong again. He started that whole play.
Well, we talked to him after the first period. Love what he said. He said it doesn't matter whether it's a playoff game, a regular season game. You're in the race, you're out of the race. Put the jersey on, you play every game the right way.
It's like that. It's like the Energizer Bunny on Red Bull, like that. Just go, 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 go. Push, skate. I mean, there he was just after Visnovsky and just kept after him. Finally, Visnovsky lost the puck. And then the shot, not two, Upshall, shoot the puck, and we talked about one and done. That was not one and done. You get the rebound chance. Nilsson just popped it up and left that rebound right there. Matthias hard to the net. A lot of good things on that goal by the Panthers.
Offside call there. Another look at it here.
And there's Bergenheim just harassing Visnovsky. And there's the shot. Get the puck. I mean, Upshall could have decided to do a lot of different things with that puck. I mean, try and make a pass, do anything, but it starts with Bergenheim, the shot on net. Nilsson able to give up the rebound. All of a sudden, Sean Matthias has goals in back-to-back games.
Upshall and Bergenheim the assist. Here's Opozo deep in the zone, turning, putting it right in front, cleared away. Now not cleared, and they score! Strome right in front, gets it right back. The Panthers got a stick on it, but couldn't get it all the way out. It's a 2-goal lead again.
Karumba. In the very next shift, Opozo controlling the puck, and you're not putting people on the seat of his pants. Olsen was there with Strome, but doesn't tie up the stick. Got to be able to tie up the stick. Strome gets his second goal. Olsen's in front with him and with the battle, but unable to control that stick of Strome, and he's able to get that puck on it. Opozo with a strong play behind the net, gets it there, but Olsen lost the battle to Strome. In the very next shift, the Islanders respond.
59 seconds after the Panthers got that first goal for them to make it 2-1. 20 to go in the period. It's Colin McDonald centering pass. Zizekas couldn't get a shot away. Bjugstad wouldn't let him go free. And Boys carries out to center. Gets it over the line. Cleared the other way. Now that's tough. Panthers looked like they were going to, at minimum, have it be 2-1. Down going to the third. But it goes to 3-1 on the Strome goal, just this second of the year, and a 2-goal deficit again.
Those ones hurt. Leave a mark. able to keep yourself in this game with some penalty kills. Got a couple of posts, and finally, you just really have a good, where you get all the momentum on your side. Just a terrific shift. You get the goal by Mathias, then the very next shift you come back, and coaches will always tell you the shifts after goals are the biggest. You got to be able to keep that momentum on your side. Panthers unable to do that. Strome unable to get his, Olsen unable to tie up his stick and gets a goal, and all of a sudden the Islanders back up by 2.
Well, that puck was sitting there right in front as the Panthers head into the locker room, and it looked like, I even said, it's going to be cleared. It looked like it was going to be an easy clear for the Panthers, but they were just unable to get that puck out of the zone, and much like the same thing happened yesterday. Remember, they got that game to 3-3 in Columbus, and then the Blue Jackets got a goal shorthanded with just 10 seconds to go in the period, and that made it 4-3 going to the third. So now down by a pair heading into the final period. We'll see if the Panthers have another comeback in them. The Islanders lead the Cats 3-1 after 40 minutes of play. And, you look at what went on there late in that period. That Mathias goal seemingly would have given him a lot of momentum.
Yes, you would have hoped so, but unfortunately now back to the drawing board. You're back by 2 again, going into the locker room after 2.
We've talked a lot today about Eric Goodbranson getting some big-time ice time, very active in this game, and he joins us now. And first off, Eric, what's gone well for you today? You're certainly all over the ice here, offensively and defensively.
Just moving my feet, playing physical, keeping it as simple as possible, making the easy play. Usually that's the first play. It's pretty simple, so that's what I've been doing.
Looks like you're reacting a lot more, not thinking as much today, especially. I mean, just going, using your hockey instincts. And I guess for a player like yourself, it's important to react and not think.
Yeah, I mean, it's, it's all about just playing the game. At the end of the day, that's what it is. If you're overthinking things, you're digging your own hole. So, just going out there, playing the game, playing confident is the best thing to do.
You get that goal by Mathias, 2-1. You give it right back. What has to happen here in the third period to get back into this one?
We got to come out strong. We got to, take care of the front of our net. That last goal was, that's a bad mistake by, myself and Ole. We got to play physical on those guys in front. Take their sticks and push them outside. But if we continue to do that in front, put some pucks on net and crash the net in their end, we should be good.
All right, Eric, good luck in the third. Thanks for the time.
Thanks.
Eric Goodbranson joining us here at the intermission where the Panthers trail the Islanders by the score of 3-1. Here's what's coming up for you at the second intermission. Before we get to that, we'll tell you around the NHL and our players spotlight as well. And Billy's breakdown, all just ahead. On Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Ford, powered by South Florida Ford, and by Service America. Worried about air conditioning, appliance, or plumbing repair costs? Get covered. Go to serviceamerica.com. The Panthers with a Sunday day game on Long Island. Mathias has the Florida goal, but they're down by 2 after 2.
Welcome back. A young fan with a goaltender mask on, and do not be a goaltender, my friend. You got to be crazy to play that position. Panthers down by a couple after 2 periods. Our breakdown in the second period. 2-on-1. Going to see here the pitch by Weaver. And now, just stop this play here. You're going to see Weaver and Gotch collide. Gotch you can roll it now, but Gotch is going to lose his stick. And it goes flying. No stick for Marcel Gotch. That was tough because that created a 2-on-1, but Tim Thomas able to hold his ground. And then roll this play, stop here, straight lines. Bergenheim, nothing fancy, beating his man. You can continue to roll this. Number 20 on the right, Bergenheim. He plays in straight lines. This starts that forechecking shift down low with Bukestad and Bergenheim, but Bergenheim's nothing fancy. It's straight. It's north-south hockey, not east-west, and Bergenheim very effective in that second period. Stats after 2. Panthers had it to 2-1, but a late goal by Ryan Strome put the lead back up, and you can see the power plays for the Islanders. 5 power plays. Panthers have been shorthanded a lot. The officials have been busy.
So as we enter the third period, let you know today's Panthers telecast on Fox Sports Florida is presented by the Florida Lottery. All those banners here at Nassau Coliseum. Islanders, the early 80s, 4 straight cups, 1 more year in this building, and then their headed to Brooklyn, and the Barclays Center.
Man, I didn't like those 80s teams. You must have really not liked them being a Ranger fan.
There was hockey in New York. I mean, the rivalry, if you grew up in the New York area, Rangers, Islanders in the 80s, it was, even in the 70s, it was something else. Ever since 75, when the Islanders beat them in that series on the J.P. Parise goals, Zach Parise's dad.
You know what? Know who I played with when I started in Quebec?
Who's that?
John Pinelli.
Really?
Yes, he was still in the league.
What a
Remember
great
him?
pickup for the
Yes.
Islanders.
Yeah, that guy worked hard.
Yep. Now, see if the Panthers can get to work and get a comeback here in the third period. Bailey at center on the turnover. It's Bergenheim moving in. Poked away by Andrew McDonald. Bukestad picks it up and throws it cross ice. Boys is there behind the net. And a penalty coming up.
Another interference.
I mean,
offensive.
that's unbelievable.
And again, Bergenheim took the other one, but this... Have to take a better look, but I thought he was just into his ground. Dave Jackson's going to put the Panthers short-handed. The refereeing has been tough on the Panthers tonight. I mean, they have caught no breaks. Bergenheim just trying to get out of the way of the shoulder, but his ice, I mean, I thought both players were just in the same ice area. And where's Bergenheim supposed to go?
11 minor penalties called on the Panthers in this game. And the Islanders get yet another power play. Wisnowski up at the line, over to Franz Nielsen, back again. Wisnowski saved by Thomas. And Marcel Gotch, back check that he couldn't get it out. Looked like he would. Here's Vanek hammering one right into the chest of Tim Thomas, and he'll hold it.
Thomas Vanek, the bomb, he's got a lot of shots on net into this game, does Thomas Vanek.
Today's third period is brought to you by
Letting him rip 5, there's number 6, so Vanek. Where does he end up? Who do you think shooters for Thomas Vanek are?
Great question. I still got a feeling that the Los Angeles Kings think they need a little bit more offense.
Be a good fit. Yeah, they do need a little bit more offense. They do struggle to score goals in L.A.
You know, a lot of those teams, you know, it's a matter of, you know, if you think you can win the cup, here's always my opinion. I love when, well, they gave up a lot to get the cup. If you think you can win it all, then you didn't give up too much. Because at some point, you need to roll the dice and go for it.
You only get so many chances to win the Stanley Cup. Yes, if you got a shot, you got to do everything in your power to win the Stanley Cup.
Now, it often doesn't wind up working out, but you gotta go for it if you think that whoever it is the missing piece. Like in St. Louis with Ryan Miller. They feel with him they could win it all. We'll see.
I like the trade by both. Buffalo got a lot back, but yeah, St. Louis. Here we got a 2-on-1 break.
Matthias carries. He's with Fleischman. Short-handed. Fleischman moving in. And the return pass play broken up. They never got a shot away. Boy, Matthias continuing his strong play. Fleischman just couldn't quite get it to him. Panther penalty killing has been very good today. Here's Wisnowski up at the line. He goes cross ice to Hahn, throws it in front. Thomas is there, and he'll hang on.
One reason Thomas Vanek, you don't see this a lot. Watch 26, Thomas Vanek in blue. 2-on-1. Look, the guy with his head down in the middle of your screen, look at him get back. That is Vanek. And that makes that, even though the pass didn't get through, I think Thomas Vanek was back to break up that pass. So that is Thomas Vanek known for his goal scoring, but a pretty hard back check there to get back in that play and really make that a tough pass, even if it went through.
He knows the Kings are watching. That's why.
Could be. Those are plays. Those are plays if a team wants that are going to definitely get you noticed.
DeHaan throws it in front, comes back to the blue line and out of the zone. Yeah, he's had a very good, in what is likely his final home game as an Islander. He's had a good game with the 2 goals and a play like that.
That, to me, is more impressive than the goal scoring from him. If you can get him to play like that, then you're onto something.
Here's Strome, too far for Grabner. Shore on the clear, and that's it. The Panthers kill another one off.
Because the criticism on Vanek's not his goal scoring, it's his player in the other areas, the defense and the commitment all the time.
Cizikas for Lee, broken up, and Brian Campbell with the puck. Flips it for Bukestad. Bukestad over the line, pokes it deep in the zone. Hickey, first man back, hit by Bukestad, taken away by Bukestad. Gilbert now takes a shot deflected high and out of play off the stick of Bergenheim in front of the net. Justin Timberlake coming to the BB&T Center on Tuesday night. And tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com or 800-745-3000. Tom Gilbert, another one, unrestricted free agent. at the end of the year. I'm sure the Panthers getting calls about him. Some talk perhaps they'd like to keep him for next year. We'll see what happens. He's had a good season.
I think he's earned the right to stay, in my opinion, if he wants to come back and re-sign. I think he's played well enough.
26 points on the year, the 3 goals and the 23 helpers. 3 minutes gone by in the third. Vanek twice in the first, and Matthias and Strome exchanged goals in the second. Vanek got an assist on that goal, so he's got a 3-point game going. Gotch moving through center with speed. Winchester goes to the net. The shot, and Gotch scores! Off the crossbar and in. Marcel Gotch is 11th of the year. And are the Panthers on the comeback trail again?
Good things happen when you shoot the puck. Breakout, crisscrossing, going through Winchester to the net and just risked the shot and over the head of the 6'5" goaltender. Nilsson never sees this puck right through the legs. It deflected off the stick of Kartner. Might have knuckleballed down, might have been Tim Wakefield over the head of Nilsson at the end of it, but just get the puck on net. Goal number 11 for Marcel Gotch, and down that wing, and Nilsson, 6'5". That is tough to go over his head, but it seemed to go directly over his head.
Nice job in the Wakefield reference after all that analysis of the hockey. Well done.
A little knuckleball, that's
well done.
the only one.
You didn't throw a Phil Niekro at me.
Charlie Hough, who else?
There you go. So the Panthers back within a goal again for the second time in the game. And now Goodbranson, but it trickled past them. Olsen getting back just ahead of Thomas Vanek. And Olsen able to clear it all the way down, but it's an icing call. Or is it, we're going to get a penalty here?
Delay game.
Yeah, it came out?
Boy, oh boy.
Oh. Wow, second delay of the game.
But this came out way down at the other end.
Well, that's what I thought.
I think if you shoot it over, I mean, this puck has to come out. It was shot out over way down at the other end of the ice. It came out. And where does this puck go out?
Well, let's see.
Seems like it was well past center. I mean,
I think they're not going to call the penalty. Well, Upshaw thought it was a penalty. You saw him look skyward, but no penalty. All right. Panthers finally get a break after 11 minors called on him in the game.
And I think it's got to be inside the red line that, the puck going out.
No harm, no foul.
Nice job by the officials getting together, though, and seeing what they saw and trying to get the call correct.
Huberdeau grabbing an extra shift here with Matthias and Hayes. Here's Matthias strong, carrying in. Going wide with a shot. Nilsson the save. Hayes on the rebound in the corner. Weaver at the line, held it in. Matthias again down low. Knocked away by McDonald, but Hayes is there. Hayes ridden to the boards by Strade. Huberdeau got a piece of it. It bounces in front. Matthias. Oh, he scores! And we're tied! What an effort by the Panthers. Sean Matthias with a 2-goal game, and the Panthers have come back again.
Sean Matthias, hotter than donut greases. He is starting to light up the score sheet. Islanders can't clear, and the stick lift on McDonald. Forehand, backhand, and the stick lift, McDonald, and good patience as he just outweights Nilsson and Sean Matthias right now. Whew. He is just about as hot as he can get. Again, the month of March, 11 goals last year in the month of March. Already 3 to start this month.
Someone trick him and make the month of March earlier in the season. Wow. And the Panthers again. This is the 5th time over the last 3 games. They've been down and they come back to tie a game. And 4 times they've been down by 2 goals and they've done that. And we're even again. Wow, DeHaan has an opening, moving in and shooting, and Thomas makes the save. Cleared out. Nearly 5 minutes gone by here in the third. And the game is tied. Gotch and then Matthias a minute 2 apart. Bergenheim on a loose puck. Comes out to center. Jimmy Hayes and Mike Weaver get the assist on the Matthias goal. Here's Vishnowsky around the boards, Clutterbuck. Couldn't clear. Nice play, Huberdeau. Huberdeau fights through the Clutterbuck jet. But it comes to DeHaan behind the net. Floats it up the boards. Gilbert got a piece of it. Huberdeau working again. Huberdeau in tight space. Winchester after it, but Vishnowsky beats him to it. He couldn't clear. Gotch holds it in. Panthers bringing it now. Winchester along the boards. For Gotch turning and shooting. Blocked away. Campbell steps up, but just couldn't quite keep it in the zone. They want some good shifts as well. Hard working by Huberdeau. Here he is again down the boards. Throws it across ice. Gathered in by Upshaw. Out in front. Bolton was stationed there. Upshaw on the back check, but Bolton flips it down. Cizikas. Clutterbuck in front with a chance. Oh, Tim Thomas with a save on Cal Clutterbuck to keep us tied in the third. Things are heating up on Long Island. Sean Matthias ties it at 3.
Marcel Gotch and Matthias have it tied. And Tim Thomas, our ADT defensive play. That pass quickly in front. Clutterbuck driving hard to the net. Cizikas right on the stick of Clutterbuck. Tim Thomas, that big push with the leg as our ADT defensive play.
Well, if you're wondering and you're hearing the Panthers made a trade, well, they did, but it's an AHL trade. Eric Selleck goes from the Panthers AHL team, and they get Mark Mancari back from the St. Louis Blues organization. So the deal was made by the Panthers, an AHL deal that is today. Here's Olsen at the point, letting one go, knocked down in front. 2 goals in the third. The Panthers have tied the game. Huberdeau gets the second assist to the Matthias goal. I thought he did. They changed it. So Jonathan Huberdeau assists on both goals here in the third.
And you know that goal happens right after that conversation where the Panthers could have been shorthanded of that puck going over the glass. So the referees got together and didn't call the penalty, so the Panthers get away, keep the play 5-on-5.
Thomas the save on Bailey, and the puck up and out of play.
That Marcel Gotch goal, I want to attack with speed. I'll show you how they attack with speed. Marcel Gotch, you can roll in the middle of the screen. He swings, and then you see Winchester come in the middle. Well, that allows you to keep your feet moving. All of a sudden, you have speed through the middle of the ice. Even though it's kind of a lucky goal with seeing eye shots, but it was Gotch and Winchester interchanged. And that allowed Gotch to really come off the ice with a lot of speed.
Ooh, right off the draw, Nielsen just missed that top corner. Campbell deep in his own zone. Free puck, chipped on goal once and then twice. And then Nielsen couldn't get it in front. Loose side of the net, jammed that. Lee took a swipe at it. It stays out. Straight. Out in front again for Anders Lee. Saved by Thomas.
Holy shnikes. Mass of humanity in front of Tim Thomas.
Here comes Matthias and Hayes again. Campbell on the far side. Centering pass tipped. And Nielsen able to get out. Islanders were crashing the net. Lee deflected away by Matthias, and the puck out of play.
Getting some help from his defenseman too, maybe? He's going to come in front, and Bailey and Thomas. This is, oh, there the back check by Huberdeau, and Huberdeau again. That was twice by Huberdeau. Huberdeau gets a stick on the first one on the side, number 11. Huberdeau is going to get a stick on the side of it, and he gets a stick on the wraparound. So Thomas some saves, and Jonathan Huberdeau with his stick able to aid the assistance of Tim Thomas.
Panthers call for icing, and Huberdeau now. You know, it's been a tough year. There's no way around it. He's used to scoring goals at every level, every season, wherever he's been. He hasn't this year, but you see a guy that's thinking the game and trying to work hard and trying to get out of it somehow. A couple of assists here today.
That's good for Huberdeau. Yes, his mind and his work, he's in the right place as far as mentality-wise.
Vishnowsky over to DeHaan. Wristed in front, blocked away. Opozo stolen away by Dmitry Kulikov. And he'll wait for some traffic to clear. Nice speed for Boys. Fires up on the wing. It's Bergenheim. Got to go back and play it though. Bergenheim great move. Gets out in front and then tipped away. Oh, Sean Bergenheim nearly hit the highlight reel. Couldn't finish it off.
Nick Bjugstad had to do the full splits to stay on side on that play.
Nice back check by Bjugstad. Lifted that stick. Vishnowsky able to get a stick on it. Weaver. Around for Kulikov. Another exciting one here this afternoon. Bjugstad has room over the line. Here's Brad Boyce, sharp angle, shot. Ooh, just missed wide. Dylan Olsen steps up, hammers one on goal. Nilsson the save. It's loose in front, and then Nilsson able to cover up.
Bergheim a chance. Pay attention to Nick Bjugstad, number 27. He had to straddle that blue line to stay on side, just on the left of your screen, and right between the legs. Tried to get the pass there. I'd like Bergheim to shoot the puck. Nilsson hasn't looked that great here in the third period. I think Bergenheim there just pulled the trigger at the end of it, but Bjugstad, really wonderful job staying on side.
Strome won that faceoff, and the Islanders get out of their own zone. It's McDonald to center. Huberdeau there with him. McDonald flips in on the backhand. Steal here by Grabner in the corner. Up to the line, McDonald hammers one towards the net, blocked in front. McDonald again, kicks it down the wall, now it's taken away. And Eric Goodbranson over to Olsen. Lead pass, Marcel Gotch has it down the wing. Gotch goes to the corner with Strome. Grabner there to play it. And here come the Islanders up to center. It's Clutterbuck over the Panther line, spinning and twisting. Tom Gilbert, his former teammate with the Minnesota Wild, is there with him. 2 goals in the third by the Panthers, a minute 2 apart. Have this game tied. Karkner with a shot, saved by Thomas. And he holds the puck. Goodbranson with Colin McDonald again. I mean, Eric Goodbranson every single time. Now he's John with Bolton. You gotta like it.
Get the bodies out in front. No more swings. Gilbert and McDonald. McDonald did not want to go back after Goodbranson, but defenseman, your job after that initial save is to make sure no one gets to your goaltender. Very physical for Goodbranson. Gilbert also a nice job keeping the players away.
So far, Goodbranson at 14:21 of ice time in the game. Half a dozen hits. Loose puck. Bergenheim, who nearly got there. Bjugstad has it stolen away by Bailey. Nielsen trying to get around Campbell. And now on the back check again, Nick Bjugstad doing the nice job, better and better defensively for Bjugstad. Told me about a week ago that that's something he wanted to focus on as the season wore on.
You know what the Wingers have excelled at? Getting back. Putting back pressure.
Campbell broke up the play. And here's Bjugstad in his own zone again. Midway through the third. Gotch from Huberdeau and Gilbert, and then Matthias from Hayes and Huberdeau. And Florida's gotten it tied. Vanek and Matthias, each with a pair of goals in the game. Up the wing, it's Matthias again. Getting in, taking a shot. Oh, and it's tipped in by Scotty Upshall. 3 in the third. And Upshall gives the Panthers the lead.
Brian Campbell with an amazing play. Just flip the puck. What? Campbell, the flip. Watch this pass just to an area. It's not really a pass, but it's just a flip. That allows Matthias to skate into that puck. Nilsson get pucks again. That's the second rebound goal by the Panthers. Get pucks to the net, and Nilsson just muffed it. Upshall just pounces on the rebound. Matthias has another point. Scotty Upshall has the go-ahead goal, and the Panthers have exploded for 3 in the third.
Wow, Sean Matthias now in the last 24 hours. 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points. And the Panthers have the lead for the first time. Last 2 games, they've come back to get games tied. This time they come all the way back and get the lead. Upshall's 11th from Matthias and Campbell. Islanders in the offensive zone. Vanek shoots, blocked. Loose in front. Taken by Kulikov. He'll skate it out of trouble. Up ahead just a little too far for Upshall. Kulikov recovers, and he's hit down hard by Vanek. Upshall on the shoot-in.
One thing I made quick mention of in the first period was get as many pucks towards the goaltender as possible. And we've seen it here, some rebounds there, just a shot down the wing. We've seen a lot of chances, but no play. Shot down the wing. Mathias just let it go, and Nilsson, the goaltender, just could not handle it. Scotty Upshall driving hard to the net, gets the rebound.
Here comes Nelson over to Grabner, putting it in front. Tim Thomas popped out, and then Nelson went hard into the net. He's down. Kulikov is down in the zone as well. Shake it up. Hope Kulikov's okay. 8:32 to go. What a game this afternoon. The Panthers trail 3-1 coming into the third. They're now up by a goal. Hey, on the sweater today, Ed Jovanovski not in the lineup in the back-to-back, so the captain out. Upshall gets a letter, and he gets the go-ahead goal here in the third to make it 4-3.
How about the Panthers just blowing up in this third period, down 3-1. When they recovered, they gave up a late goal in the second period that was tough. Made it 2-1. It was 2-1, then that made it 3-1. They had that go-ahead goal, but the Panthers, again, showing some big resolve here in the third.
Dominant in the faceoff circle today as well for the Cats. Sean Mathias, 2 goals and an assist in the game. Boy, has he been skating. Bergenheim after the puck in the offensive zone. Bergenheim works it free. Boyes takes over, deflected over the net. And up and out of play.
Brian Campbell just with a deft pass. There's no direct pass. Campbell coming up the ice, throw it to an area. Just to flip and let Mathias skate into it. There's no way to get that pass directly to him. Mathias settles it down, shot on net, but Brian Campbell showing some creativity down the wing and just craftiness.
He's had a couple of real nice passes. Remember he sent Goodbranson into the offensive zone? He feathered that one right through in the second period.
That's just throwing a pass to an area.
Here's Mathias with Upshall and Fleischman now put together by Coach Peter Horacek right in the hot hand. And it's Mathias in the offensive zone, strong again. Feeds the point. Olsen fan on the shot, though. Mixing and matching up front. And why not? Islanders offside. 7:56 now to go in the third. The Panthers up a goal. Fleischman getting into it there a little bit with Nelson.
And the home woes for the Islanders. The Islanders on the road, 10-3 in their last 13 games. 10-3 on the road, 1 win in their last 8 here at the Nassau Coliseum. Home ice has not been kind to the Islanders.
You know, they were in the playoff race until 10-12 games ago. It's been a rough go. Peter Horacek has to like what he's seen here in the third out of his team. Penalty killing today better, getting a little smirk out of something over there on the bench. Gotch, Mathias, and Upshall. 3 goals in 7 minutes and 16 seconds for the Panthers to erase a 3-1 deficit. Lee takes over and shoots wide. Anders Lee just walked right in. Lee in the corner with Weaver. Winchester in there. Winchester does the dirty work and clears. Josh Bailey out at center. Pressure by Huberdeau. Panthers shooting. Only thing missing today for Huberdeau is a goal. He's been good. Had a pair of assists.
Yeah. Panthers 6 times the last 16 games. They've scored 3 goals in the period. First 44 games, that happened 1 time. So the Panthers have exploded for some goals in periods.
Kulikov is in. Sends it on net. Why not? Blocker save. Gilbert at the point. Moves top of the circle and shoots. Blocked down again by Nilsson and carries out. Campbell hammers it right back in.
Nelson's not looked good in this game in this third period. Lots and lots of rebounds.
23-year-old from Sweden. His 12th NHL game. And that puck caught the Panther bench. So a whistle and a stoppage.
Big problems in net for the Islanders of getting Nabokov the other goaltender. I don't think Nabokov's coming back. Nabokov might be done as far as his professional career, and they've had some other guys, Kevin Poulin, and the size 6'5" for Nilsson. I mean, they've had a bunch of players, goaltenders go through here, and they haven't been able to really find a solution in net. The Islanders give up the most goals per game in the NHL, and that's the big reason to me, the goaltending.
Steal here by who else? Mathias. What a game he's had. Yesterday as well. Ooh, straight, dangerous climb right out, but able to clear to center. Pushed over the Panther line. Shore back. finds Upshaw. And he'll shoot in. Panthers grab a change. Vanek sends it all the way down the ice. Tim Thomas leaves it for Goodbranson. Vanek pressures Winchester. Taken by Strome. Here's Opozo, point blank. Thomas came out and made a shoulder save. Good one by Tim Thomas.
Thomas has been stellar after giving up those 2 early goals.
Winchester pushes it over the line. Koch down low. Oh, Cartner tackles him. That's a first down. Tom Coughlin on a
That's an extra
Cartner,
2.
and that should be an extra 2, clearly.
But they get put us down 5-on-3 earlier in the game. Why is that not an extra 2 to Carter?
He just had shoved Koch right down after the penalty. Panthers are going on the power play when we come back. Cleveland Clinic bring us our game recap. The Panthers again come back from a 2-goal deficit, down 3-1 in the third. This time they come all the way back and take the lead. They're up 4-3. Big game from Sean Matthias. They are helpers for Huberdeau. 5:47 to go. Panthers were down 3-1 heading into the third. Gotch, Matthias, and Upshaw have the goals, and now the Cats are on the power play. 2-minute penalty to Cartner. It was only 2. We thought maybe it would have been 4. After the extra hit on Gotch. Bukestad on a loose puck. To the goal line, Bergenheim, backhander in front. Oh, it chipped really high if Nick Bukestad jumping up couldn't reach it.
Pay attention, though. Bailey, Grabner, these players. Vanderbrug has got 8 shorthanded goals on the year. Pay attention. The Islanders will look to go shorthanded.
Bukestad. Down the wing, tries to make a move on McDonald. It rolled on him. He shovels it around the boards for Brad Boys. Up to the point, nicely Gilbert. Over to Campbell, has some room, winds and fires, deflected over the net. And here's Bailey. Gliding over the blue line, try to drop past it, stolen away. Yeah, Bukestad was aware shorthanded. And he gets the red line over the blue line. Protects that puck with the big frame, and then the help from Upshaw, who has a goal and an assist today. Hayes down low. Upshaw is there. Kulikov at the point. Here's Upshaw. Moving in. Finding Kulikov. Over to Olsen. Out in front. Upshaw with a chance. Score! Scotty Upshaw again. Power play goal. The Panthers. 4 goals in the third period. And they're up 5-3 now. What an afternoon on Long Island.
Got you up, dog? You're not going to bite, are you? Scotty Upshaw with a pair.
And a penalty just as that goal went in as well, by the way.
Just good puck moving all around in the middle of the ice open. Scotty Upshaw camps himself right in the middle of the 4 penalty killers. Onto his stick, and the penalty was going to be coming up. Scotty Upshaw gets it to the net. And the Panthers have a power play goal, number 2 on the year.
So Cizikas took the penalty. As that play ended, the Islander bench was very upset. They're wondering, because it seemed like the arm went up
before the goal.
So it should have been
waved off. That's,
where the penalty, it should have been a delayed penalty.
The play's going to be reviewed.
Well, the play being reviewed also separately from the Cizikas penalty. So the Panthers should be up 5-3 now with 4:34 to go and on another power play.
So the floodgates have opened up for the Panthers here in the third period.
Not sure exactly what they're looking at on that goal. Seemed like a good goal, but
Scotty Upshaw kept out. Jimmy Hayes, we're getting word in our truck. Jimmy Hayes might get this goal.
Hit something in front. Let's see.
Number 12, Jimmy Hayes, in the big body and been used on the power play. And yes, it does hit Jimmy Hayes, the outside of that right skate. So Jimmy Hayes has a goal.
Well, not kicked in. That's what they're looking at. And obviously that's not intentional. The skate never even moved towards the net.
And Jimmy Hayes, Peter Horchak put him in front. And Panthers have scored their last couple power play goals have been scored with Jimmy Hayes in front, one at home by Drew Shore. And Jimmy Hayes this time has himself a goal.
You think it's Hayes? All right.
100%.
Okay. 5-3 now, Panthers. And another power play. Wow. Cats were down 3-1 heading into the third. Dodge, Matthias, Upshaw, and apparently Hayes. And they're up by 2. Winchester plays it around. Kulikov hustles over with Clutterbuck. Clutterbuck through the big hit. Huberdeau now battling. Grabner takes away. Here they come shorthanded. 2-on-1. Hickey to the net. He's all alone. He shoots and misses wide. Just what you talked about.
They will go. Grabner some speed. Hickey took the pass from Grabner, but Tim Thomas has been the man in charge. He's been large after giving up. Tim Thomas showing that veteran savviness, giving up those first 2 goals and really settling down the rest of the game.
34 saves on the afternoon for Thomas. Here's Bukestad. And that puck deflected and went out of play.
They got some speed, down that wing.
What a third period. Unbelievable.
4 goals, and here they go. You got to be careful. Islanders look to go shorthanded. Grabner is speedy, head up, and Hickey coming. That puck's rolling on Hickey. See, that puck was rolling. Never sat flat for Hickey. He just fired it high and wide.
Right now they've got it as Upshaw from Olsen and Kulikov.
Hayes.
But you say Hayes. Either way, the huge goal to make it 5-3. Gilbert shoots high. Panthers can really salt it away if they can cash it again on the power play. Brian Campbell. Gilbert skates it in. Drops for boys along the boards. Sends it through the slot. Bukestad in the corner. Rolled on him a little bit. Bergenheim there as well, and it's chipped out to center. Here comes straight shorthanded now. Shot was blocked. Fleischmann, the Han back defensively. Fleischmann is in with a shot. He goes wide. And that puck carries to center. Scooped up there by Sean Matthias. Breaks down the wing. Matthias floats it in behind the Islander net. Fleischmann for Matthias in front. Open man! Oh, how did that not go in? Scotty Upshaw looked like he had an open net. Wow.
Settled it down for a second, and then
here's an Upshaw shot, and Nilsson makes the save. And if that goal does stay to Upshaw, that would have been a hat trick for him.
he settled it down and bobbled it for a second, and then wasn't able to put the puck into the net.
Wow.
Matthias and Theron just shoot it. I'm not sure what, he just got caught off balance, and that allowed Nilsson to recover. Right there, just somehow get a piece of it, and he was losing his balance. Johnny Upshaw's got to laugh about that one.
The Branson shoots, and that just went wide. Down to 2:15 left and a 2-goal lead for Florida. 4 in the third. Good Branson cranks it up. Pad save by Nilsson. Good job of the Panthers keeping it in the Islanders' zone. Winchester working. Finally pop free, and Bannock is out. Throws it over the Panther line. Good Branson there. Net is empty. Nilsson to the bench. Gotch at center. Checked. Puck shot in. Islanders have the extra man on. Dylan Olsen finds Shore. Flips it over the blue line. Here's Winchester with Bukestad. We get a whistle and a stoppage, and the puck was touched with a high stick. We could have a penalty called as well here.
Here's that Everhead. Watch Hayes' right skate on this goal. Look at the skate. This is going to be your best look. 100% that changes direction. That's Jimmy Hayes' goal. What? You don't believe it?
I thought it was really close.
Look where the puck is. See how it...
Yeah, it went that way a little.
Do you see how much it went the other... What do you mean really close?
What are you, Hayes agent?
What are you looking at?
Either way, it's a Panther goal. What's the difference?
You can't see it. Come on, now we got a discussion.
I mean, I got nothing. I love Jimmy Hayes, but I mean, holy cow.
Well, holy cow, went off his skate.
What is your name, Billy Hayes? We got a discussion here, Billy. I think I'll give it to him. I'm with you.
Okay.
Why not? They thought there might have been a penalty on this. Let's see. They're explaining some to Peter Horacek. They've done that all afternoon. There's been 25 penalties called in this game. There has. I'm not exaggerating. You think I'm exaggerating?
There's been 25, yeah. That's a good night. The rest, gonna need new whistles after this one.
What a wild game this has been. 3-1 Islanders coming into the third. Panthers have scored 4 times. Gotch, Matthias, Upshaw.
And Hayes,
although the official scoring has Upshaw, but it will be changed, says Billy Lindsay. What is the big discussion here? Nilsson is back in the net for the Islanders with 1:36 left with the draw out at center. Upshaw and Mathias each with 3 points here this afternoon. Gilbert able to get it down the ice. DeHaan over to Nielsen, and there goes Nilsson out of the net again. Extra skater on. Islander net is empty. Brad Boys works it free. Out at center, Bukestad. Here's Bergenheim. Oh, they get it offsides.
What?
I mean, you can't make it up. It was a wide open net, but they're offside.
This one looked to be very close. Watch the skates in relation to the puck. Yeah, that probably was a good call. Look there, the skates, yes. Here's a better angle. Are the skates over? Yeah, skates backed it up just a bit if you can. Yeah, other way. Very close.
Yeah.
Could go either way.
I don't really see that on empty nets. I don't remember.
5-3. At least you have the 2-goal cushion.
Oh, yeah.
1-goal cushion, that's a big difference.
Huge. Ask the U.S. Olympic women's hockey team.
Yes, hit that goal post, yes, on that icing call.
Now under a minute to go. Nielsen is out of the net. The Panthers have brought the A game in the third. They score 4 times. Will they add to it? Fleischmann, etc. got a piece of the puck. Now the Islanders shoot in. Weaver deflects up to the blue line, bouncing around. Look out, Strome with a chance. Save. Thomas rebound off the outside of the net. It's still loose, and now Thomas has it. Bodies go down again. Oh, they're punching it. Kulikov there. Opozo popped him in the face a couple of times. It's been a nasty game.
Unhappy, disrupting the sleep rhythms. Most players usually taking a nap for a game around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So it's been some chirpiness, nastiness all game long. Really started from the start, you know, with Barch in the fight. Vanek pushing on his goaltender. Kulikov trying to get his man out of there and tackles Vanek, and Opozo a cheap shot. Well, Kulikov was on the ice, just took some liberties with Kulikov. But this has been just going on throughout this game, and there's been a parade to the penalty box on both sides. So now they get Opozo and Kulikov for roughing. So it's going to look more like a conventional power play now with goaltender pulled. Instead of 6-on-5, it's going to be 5-on-4. Nilsson, the goaltender, will be at the bench. Not sure if Capuano will use his timeout. Yes, timeout has been called by the New York Islanders, so they will use their timeout. And 5-3, this will look, and from a coaching standpoint, it's easier from this because it goes back to a more conventional, what you're used to, 5-on-4 penalty kill power play. And the Panthers, you're up by 2. This is it. And we'll be up tomorrow, or not, sorry, Tuesday in Boston, 7 o'clock. The Boston Bruins, Tim Thomas will be back. Probably make his second start back against his old teammates, Boston Bruins. Boston Bruins, one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. They are loaded and playing some strong hockey, and always a tough place to play. What's that? Who threw that in at the end of the telecast? Or threw in the end of the promo?
That's an old goal, man.
That's an old goal.
Yeah, there's a big one, but it was an old one.
Yes, that's a long, long time ago. But that helmet that Tim Thomas is wearing was still around then.
That's an old one. Here we go off the draw. Vanek with the Islander net empty, shoots and it deflects wide. Time running out of the Islanders. Vishnowsky hammers one. That's blocked by Gotch. Gotch over to play it. Mike Weaver looking for the empty netter, but it's blocked away. Be nice to see him get one, wouldn't it? Here comes Lee with a shot. That's blocked. Under 10 to go. Sent right in front. Vanek couldn't tee it up. And then Tim Thomas, side of the net, will smother it. One more face-off, and the Panthers are going to get out of Long Island with a victory. And what a third period this was with 4 goals.
All kinds of credit to the Panthers on this one. Falling behind. They've been falling a lot, but some stick-to-itiveness and just battling back all the way. Down 3-1. They got 4 goals in the third period, and looks like they're going to walk out of here with the 5-3 win.
One more draw. And that'll do it. Tim Thomas with 35 saves in a 4-goal third period leads the Panthers on a comeback win over the Islanders, 5-3.
Tim Thomas really shut the door the rest of the way after giving up 2 early goals. Scotty Upshall has 2 goals right now. I think he has a goal and an assist. I think Jimmy Hayes had a power play goal. I'm still going to try and give it to him, but whatever the case.
I want to know what's going on between you and Hayes.
Sean Matthias are really strong. I like a guy that stands in front of the net and pays a price. If you're going to stand there and get whacked, give him a goal every now and again. Scotty Upshall, though, definitely has the game-winning goal on tonight. And Sean Matthias, a really strong performance. Sean Matthias now back-to-back big games for the Florida Panthers. And the Panthers get out of Long Island with the victory.
In the final here this afternoon, a lot of smiles. And some of those smiles of relief. The Cats beat the Islanders 5-3.
On Fox Sports Florida was brought to you by Lexus. The all-new Lexus IS. It's your move at your South Florida Lexus dealer. And by Accurate Collision, the official collision shop of the Panthers.
The Panthers are trying to bounce back after a loss yesterday in Columbus. And did they ever? Erasing a 2-goal deficit in the third. Scotty Upshall, a 3-point game, and the Cats win at the Coliseum. Panthers Live postgame is next. Stay with us.